and they've got great belief in what they do. So, and for good reason. Bottom line, they got good players. They're really well coached, and they play hard. They play physical. To me, their style of football reminds me of the last two teams we played at the end of the season last year, Stanford, Michigan State. So it's a different kind of challenge for us. The faces changed through the years with North Dakota State. Names change, faces change, but the way they play looks very, very similar. And my Kodak moment would have been somewhere in the late 2007, 8, whatever it was. They were still playing in the Metrodome, but I remember them beating Minnesota and just how well they played in that ball game. It wasn't a fluke by any stretch. And the way they played in that game, it's still the same thing you see over the last couple of years. So they've just done a wonderful job up there, and it's going to be a big challenge for our football team. We got a lot to get ready for. It's their style of play. They play with the fullback. They play with tight ends, multiple tight ends. They'll run the ball, throw it. They're very versatile and multiple. But they're going to block you. They're going to come out and block you, and if you try to block them, they play blocks. They're not running around trying to slip people or finesse and that type of thing. It's just not their style. And I'm not judging styles or judging systems, what have you, but that is the way they play. Again, I go back to that Minnesota game, whatever year that was. It was in the Dome, so it's got to be a few years, and that's how they looked then. You throw in the film now, it's the same thing. They're just really well coached. They play hard, play very aggressively, very confidently, and so it's. Again, faces are a lot different, but boy, they just keep playing well, and the belief that their team has, their players have, is really evident. Probably no better example there, the quarterback, right? They get the second player in the draft from last year, was out last year for a majority of the season. Young guy steps in there and just plays tremendous football, and he's playing good again right now. So, it really speaks well to the environment that they've created up there. Yeah, I'm not too worried about perception. I've never really been worried about that, but I'll go back to our 2009 season, the first ball game against UNI that year, and we were very fortunate, as you know, you were at the game, extremely fortunate to win that ball game. We had a pretty good team that year, so that illustration right there is just when you play anybody that's good, and UNI was very good that year. They've been pretty good traditionally. North Dakota State ditto. I mean, just you got to get ready to go. And we'll let other people worry about perception, all that kind of thing. But all you got to do is look real close. I mean, that quarterback last year that they had, holy smokes! And this, Stick jumps in there and plays excellent football as well. So, they just have a lot of good players. They just don't have 85 of them, but their top 40, I would say, is probably as good as anybody's. The jerseys changed, but they just keep playing well. And I did have that thought. I mean, we might have to start recruiting North Dakota because they got a lot of guys from in-state that are really good players that play for them, and they play well.
You guys cross paths with them quite a bit, though, in recruiting, don't you?
We do. But again, we haven't ventured that far north. We'll have to get Reese a new car. Maybe dog sled, I don't know. See if we can help them out.
What have you seen from them?
They're really physical up front, and there's some big guys that can get down low and underneath your pads pretty easily, it looks like, and they're really good on their combination block, so it's going to be a really physical game, and it's going to be almost like Big Ten conference play. So
you kind of answered my question. When you watch them on film, does it seem like an FCS film, or is it just like watching the other opponents that you play?
Yeah, it seems like watching other opponents. They kind of remind you of a little Wisconsin, Michigan State. They're really good with the fundamentals. So.
What do you see on film? When you put the film on, is it like watching a Big Ten team?
I mean, yeah, their speed is up to, like a Big Ten team. The physicality is up there. So really, we got to be ready for just like any other opponent, and just really stay focused and understand that they're a good football team overall. I mean, they're a great team. They're well diversified. They can run the ball pretty well, and they can also throw the ball. And they got a great running quarterback. So really, we got to be ready for everything, and just be able to stay focused on our small detail kind of things.
Can you imagine playing for 5 national championship teams?
I mean, that's crazy. Just hat off to them. They're an amazing program. Over the last, especially 5 years, but even before that, they've been good. So really, we got to be ready for it, for anything to happen.
What are the challenges this week, Sarge?
Challenges? It would definitely have to be containing this quarterback and stopping his run. From quarterback to running back, we've got the tremendous athletes, and protecting them is a very huge offensive line. So I think the challenge is right now is controlling the line of scrimmage.
I think the outside perception is you guys are playing an FCS school, and you should win.
That doesn't really matter who we play. FCS, FBS, it doesn't matter. This team is very good. they beat 5 FBS teams back to back. So, like I said, it doesn't really matter who we play. These guys are ready to play football, just like us. So.
When you look at, I'm sorry, I was just gonna say, when you look at them on film, does it look like an FBS team? Does it look like a Big Ten team?
It definitely does. Like I said, every position, both sides of the ball, those guys hit. They hit really good. So, and watching film of these guys, they kind of remind me of like a Wisconsin type offensive line, very big, and the way they do, like the way they run their offense, just want to pound the ball like down our defense's throat. So, like we just really want to work, really focus on, just really, like I said, controlling our line of scrimmage up front.
The outside perception is this is an FCS school. You guys should win. That can't be your mentality. What is your approach? What is this team's approach to playing a school that's smaller?
I would say our team perception is going into this game ready to go. We know what kind of team North Dakota State is. They compete against a lot of FBS schools, and that's being on the road. They're coming on the road, winning games against FBS schools, and we have to be ready to go.
Is it a matter of always having to respect your opponent?
Yeah, we always respect all of our opponents. We treat them all the same. We just stand to what we do. It's all about how we're going to get out there and compete and how we're going to play each and every week. So that's our main focus.
What do you see from them on film offensively? What do they do well?
Offensively, they have a really good quarterback that's dual threat that can run the ball with his legs and kind of step in the pocket and make plays down the field. They're a little similar to our run offense as well. They like to run the ball in between the guard and tackles and try to draw you to sleep and then play action you and take shots down the field.
What's the challenge this week with NDSU? What have you seen on film? What does their offense do well?
They do a lot of things well. They got a lot of really good players, and their line is really solid up front. They're a tough team, physical team, and they're going to come off the ball and hit us. So we just need to be prepared and be ready for that.
Do they look like a Big Ten team? That sounds like a Big Ten team.
That's somebody asked earlier about the FCS thing, but all you need to do is turn on the film and watch 3 plays, and you'll know that this team is no joke, and they've got a lot of talent and a lot of size and a lot of speed, and it doesn't look like any step down. It looks like a really, really good team.
Do you guys have the right mindset that respect the opponent no matter who it is?
Yeah. Like I said, it's easy. It's very easy to respect the opponent when you just turn on the film and watch them. And they play really hard and they play really well. So we definitely need to be prepared.
Yeah, no, we got a lot of respect for them. They're a great team. They've got, five national championships. That's crazy. I don't care what conference you're in, FCS, FBS. They've came in and I think they've beat like 8-3 since 7-6 against FBS opponents. So we've got a ton of respect for those guys, and we know they're going to come in here bringing their best and expecting to win. We just got to play our best football.
What do they run in defense at?
They run a lot of different stuff, but I think they do what they do, kind of like some teams like to throw a bunch of new stuff in with new defensive coordinators, but the guy's been there for a while, so we've got a lot of tape to look at from them. But I'm sure they'll throw some stuff we haven't seen at us, but we just got to be prepared and respond to that. I know they are diehard fans up in North Dakota and South Dakota too. I'm sure. So I'm sure they'll travel well, and they've got good fans. So it's good for them.
Yeah, the reason I asked them would probably be 5,000 to 10,000 here on Saturday.
Yeah, that doesn't. There'll be 10,000 of their fans, but hopefully 60,000 of our fans, and hopefully we can drown out their noise. But
where are the holes at on that defense?
It's kind of tough to see. We watch them on tape, and they're sound pretty much all phases of the game on defense. They're defenders. They play blocks. They don't make too many mistakes. So they're an extremely well coached team. So when it's gonna come down to on Saturdays that we're gonna have to execute. Obviously this is probably gonna be the best team that we've faced thus far, and they're gonna want to come in and beat us in Kinnick. This would be a big time win for them, Big Ten program, all that stuff, and so we gotta know that we gotta go out there and execute because they're not gonna beat themselves. So we're gonna have to go out there and beat them.
Is this maybe a good challenge right before the Big Ten schedule, having a team like this coming in that plays a little Big Ten style football?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously you just don't go win championships at any level without being a quality team, without having good players. So this would be an excellent test for us. So we got to make sure that preparing each day in practice in the film room, and you know that we're going out there and executing, and we're not taking these guys lightly because obviously they can come in and they could beat us in our home stadium, and you obviously don't want that.